Hi, 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 hi. I hope that you can all hear me. Let me see if I can see myself because I'm using my camera. How is everyone doing? Oh, I hope you can see me. Let me check right here. I really want to be in frame. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I'm pretty much tilted to this side. Good, 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 good. How are you all doing? Let me see if you can hear me. Oh boy. Yeah, I think you can all hear me. It's a holiday today. Oh, great. Yeah. Welcome to the stream. If it's your first time here, you're very, very, very welcome. I want to share the live stream so that um my friends can join. Oh my god, I hope my WhatsApp is linked. um just a second. Oh, my WhatsApp. I think I have to open. Well, I'm shooting with my phone today. Um because I wanted to refer to my laptop for some things. The camera on my laptop is not so bright. And so yeah. Okay, it's loading. I want to share the stream and have a few more people join. Whoa, let me know where you're joining in from. Let me know where you are in the world. It's a beautiful day today. Welcome to my channel. Sorry, my name is Lydia Esenam, and I've lived my life in Ghana. Currently, I'm an international student based in Canada. And anytime I say this, I don't know, it kind of feels like, is it really happening? Not like I'm in doubt of anything, but it just gives me that, you know, hi, Sheriff, I see you, I see you, I see you. Thanks for always supporting and encouraging us. How is Ghana? How is the weather like? Please remember to like the stream. And if you have any questions about my journey, you can ask me here. I really enjoy the live streams because I get to be myself. I get to like be me, full small talk, and have very honest conversations, right? And not like I'm not honest in my videos. I am, but it is just that during the life is raw. You can really edit or anything. Yeah, okay. So I'm getting my community to join in and then let's see how it goes. Okay. Great. So, bonjour, mes amis. I know there are some French people in Canada. Bonjour, mes amis. Je m'appelle Lydie. Je viens du Canada. Je suis um, étudier international. Hey, Charlie, I'm trying. Oh. I need to make Duolingo proud. But yeah, I I'm an international student based in Canada and I'm a Ghanaian. So, yes, this has always been a dream and it feels surreal, having to live it and excel in it, regardless of all the things that come up, the bumps on the road. But the journey is being a learning one and unlearning. It's been a challenging one, but I guess that's what makes us better. I guess that's what makes the journey worthwhile. If you're on a journey and you don't have any challenges, or you don't have anything that keeps you up at night, or you don't have anything that keeps your zeal up, like, then what's the point, right? I guess that's what makes it worthwhile. And like I've shared in my videos earlier, it's I've been sharing my journey, right? It's not like I've not been sharing anything apart from this, but it turns out that I turned 5 months in Canada a few days ago. And I'm like, wow, how did time go so fast? So I'm always like, if you really have something to do in this life, just do it, because time is gonna go anyways. So you just have to do what you gotta do, right? And it's interesting how we keep procrastinating and thinking that, oh, we'll find the best time to do something, we'll find the best time to do something, and we never get to do it. And that's where the regret comes in, right? And it's it's amazing that you eventually get to do it and you're like, this thing wasn't so difficult after all, why did I keep postponing it? And I mean, this is very relatable in most of the things that we do in our personal lives and our various relationships or whatever. You have to do something and you keep postponing, and you're like, oh, I get to do it, I get to do it, and then time is gone. So yeah, that's quite a challenge, the procrastinating effect, and you end up regretting, and that is basically not cool. So whatever you gotta do, Charlie, just do it. Just do it. Just do it. So yeah, my journey. I scribbled down a few things so that I can, keep to it. I did an intro in French. I need to really sharpen that because I will need it. I will need it. Actually, Canada is currently bilingual. Like the French is like an added value to you. So I need to take my French seriously. And the down effect for me is that I used to be very fluent in French. Unfortunately, I didn't have anyone to really speak with in Ghana. So my French was just dying down, dying down, dying down. Eventually, I have to just, be there. Like, it's just not working. So you guys know that I moved to Canada and I've been sharing my stories. I've shared so much about it, how I applied for the schools, how I did my visa processing, how I traveled, and the whole, background story behind that, how immigration, how questions immigration will ask you, how you have to prepare for your migration or your arrival into Canada, and all that stuff. But I realized that a lot of people are doing migration videos, um, you know, immigration videos, not like they are licensed immigrational lawyers, but I feel like a lot of people are doing content in that aspect. So I'm like, should I really add to it? No, I feel like I want to do something else. I want to have like honest, real conversations as an international student here in Canada, so that you know what to expect if you are coming in and all that. I have quite a number of video ideas that I have to do, but I have not had the time, and that is really, really, really. Um, hey neighbor, I see you. Neighbor, 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 how are you? How is Ghana? Um, Let me know how your day is going. It's a holiday here in Canada, It's Saint Victoria's Day, and yeah, most people are home. Other people are out because the sun is out and it's really bright. So we are enjoying the holiday here. Yeah, it's what Saint Victoria because I was really reading into it. Victoria Day, yeah. Victoria Day, and basically it's a celebration of the Queen. Interestingly, what I realized about Canada is that, well, I'm going to go into that in depth, right? But speaking of a holiday, not all provinces have the same holidays. Unlike Ghana, where we have like 1st July or 25th, like a holiday, like the whole country is on a holiday. But in Canada, like Ontario province can have a holiday and Nova Scotia will not have the holiday. So for instance, this holiday is only for 6 provinces out of the 10 provinces. So not all the provinces have um what it said. Victoria Day is a federal statutory holiday as well as holiday in 6 of Canada's 10 provinces and all 3 of its territories. So I mean, most of the holidays you can have a holiday in maybe Alberta or Edmonton, and you will not have like the same holiday here. So that's one funny thing I found about the holidays here in Canada. So it's pretty interesting to note that. So yes. Oh, your office base. How is work going though? My neighbor. Neighbor. Actually, that's good. I hope your weekend was good too. Yeah, so I was sharing about the fact that I migrated and I'm based here now as an international student. And so let me not jump up. I was talking about the fact that I've been sharing my journey, and basically it comes with its own challenges, from settling into the country. I came in the peak of winter, so winter was very harsh. And now that the sun is out, it's also harsh in the terms of allergic reactions going on. There's dust, there is the sun is very hot. And when I say very hot, in Ghana, when it's hot, you can be under a tree and you have like air, you feel some breeze. But here, when it's hot, it's very humid, it's very dry. So you need to stay hydrated, you need to stay moisturized. Like, it's very hot, it's like heat sankasa. So, oh, great, great. Good to know that your weekend was good. Neighbor. I don't know why, but when people come into the chat and I can relate, I just feel like, that's it. Those are people I can relate with. Sherry was here early on, and then Asante is here as well. So that's good. So yeah, and it's very humid. And so yeah, that's it. And it's always great that you get to know the challenging side of being an immigrant, right? My friend Yvonne is in Dubai. She normally shares some of the challenges. I share mine on this side. And it's interesting to note that when you are in your country, let's say when I was in Ghana, I knew that it was going to be tough, but there are certain things that really just blows up in your face, right? Like, you're like, what the hell is going on? It literally blows up in your face. I'm your only hype woman. Neighbor. Okay, so it literally blows up in your face, and you're like, shit, what the fuck? Like, this is not what you thought it was. And mostly, people do not share that side until like they get all better, and then they share the story, and then it looks like, but you're cool. And sometimes it's a struggle to even stay positive. If you come into Canada, Canada is they have a very individualistic culture. right? Unlike Ghana, where you can go to your neighbor's house or go to a friend's place, go and laugh. Like you can do that here, but in Ghana, you can be in a church or on the bus and literally have a whole conversation about anything and everything, right? Over here, once you get on the bus, like people are listening to their music, they are thinking about themselves, and people are sleeping because they've had a crazy day and they didn't sleep early and they are trying to go to work. And that is the system here. And so when you come in, it just blows up in your face and you really need to adjust quickly. And so for me, I had to adjust like really fast from winter and, you know, finding transportation and everything, you know. And even during winter, like it's it's not like it's freezing. It's not funny. It's not an exaggeration. It is cold. Sometimes you have to buckle up, like wear two or three outfits. And it wasn't a joke when they said it, like those days, like Abuche is cold. So you have to do that because that's the only way you have to stay like warm, because you don't take the weather for granted. Especially in Canada, the weather is very inconsistent, right? Today is It can be very hot right now. I'll go out. You think you don't want to take a jacket, but just take it. It comes in handy. In the evening, the temperatures drop like that. So it's very tricky. I remember last week, I went to school and I picked my jacket. So it was about 19 degrees or 20 degrees. It was quite hot. It was quite hot. By evening, it was like 12, but then it was very cold. And so all those who left home in the afternoon and didn't pick a jacket and they wore like sleeveless, and come and see them. Hey, in my head, I was like, oh, Chia, next time, wear a jacket. So, yeah. Hey, Santiago. Santi, baby. Good to see you. Good to see you, Santiago. So, yeah, Santiago, since you're here with me, share with me some of the things you've had to deal with while settling into Canada, right? I really want to share your perspective to my community, and since you're also here, it will be great to know. I'm doing very well. It was great hanging out with you guys last Friday. Oh my God, Santiago. So good to see you here on my live stream. It's amazing. Great. So, I was talking about the weather and the fact that it can be very inconsistent, and if you don't take care, your ass is going to be whooped, you know. So yeah, that was how I adjusted by dressing well for the weather. It's very easy to catch a flu or a cold, and it's crazy, like it's so inconsistent. Today is cold, tomorrow is hot, tomorrow is this. And because it's not consistent, your body is like, my body finds it very difficult to adjust, right? Because when it's cold, I'm like, yeah, it's cold, and then it gets hot, and then so that inconsistent weather is really, really, really pathetic for me. It's not been kind at all. In my last video about the summer haul outfits that I shot, I mean, you could see that I was sounding very nasal, and this was just about 2 weeks ago that I shot that video, and I was literally drowning in that sickness. It was terrible, right? Thankfully, I had some antibiotics to take that helped me stabilize. So you really have to take care of yourself over here in such an inconsistent weather. All right. Santiago will fly again, don't worry. But share with me, what do you call it? Share with me how you have, adjusted in Canada. I know you are from Colombia. Hey, where are the Colombians in the house? So you are from Colombia. You came in with your wife. Amazing, amazing couple. They are always Santiago and his wife are always making me feel like singleness is just Like, they're so sweet, they're cozy, they're always like hugging, and this public display of affection that they're giving soft kisses. I'm like, you guys, when I find a boyfriend or I find a man, you're gonna see. Well, so yeah, I know it'll be very hot in June, July. Yeah, that's a peak of summer. So let's see. Yeah, so that was about the weather and how I adjusted to it. Now the food. I spoke about culture sadly because the culture here is very individualistic. I said that. And then again, it's hard to talk to somebody, right? In the sense that everybody is up and about their business. Sometimes when you're on the bus, I've had instances where I'm on my way to work or something, and then I find people at the bus stop, and you can just strike a conversation with them, and that's it. Like, hey, how is it going? There was a time that I had a conversation with a very old man. I think he was in his 80s, and he was still active. Like he was working with his walker and all that. He was going um to town. And over here, the physically challenged people have accesses to everything, right? So, for instance, you want to go somewhere and you pick the bus. The bus is designed in a way that it is friendly for any disabled person, once you're in a wheelchair or walker or whatever. It is very user friendly. The bus literally kneels. So, um, the bus kneels, it comes down, and then you can just wheel your wheelchair, whatever it is, your trolley with your baby. So it's very, very user friendly. The system here is such that they ensure that all these are in place to support any kind of individual, whether you're disabled or you're a normal person. Like, I don't want to say normal person, like, unfortunately, yes, but it's very, very helpful. So you're on the bus, and then I strike this conversation with this old man, and that day I was literally having a terrible day, but speaking to that man, made me, it lifted my mood. So that's the point I'm coming to, that sometimes you just need someone to strike a conversation with, someone who can just not like you're telling them your problems, but sometimes you just need someone to talk to. And that could go a long way to um help you, right? So Santiago is sharing with us that he can adapt faster since he prefers the cold weather. I came from Bogota, Colombia, and there the weather is usually rainy and cloudy. Oh, okay. Okay, okay. That's good to know, Santiago. Thanks for sharing with us. So Santiago is from Colombia, but he's currently based in Canada, and he's sharing with us the fact that he adapted very fast because he came from well, kind of like an equally weather related country where it's always windy and rainy and cloudy. This is the thing about life. I can't go and edit the garments. When I make a mistake, I can't go and edit it, right? So yeah, that's it, and it's good. So Santiago, thanks for sharing with us. If there's anything else that you had to adapt to, like the culture, the food, the business, I know what you do professionally. Is it so different? Like, how are you adapting to this place? Let us know. Okay, the food and all that. I'm going to touch on food very soon. So yeah, that's it about the culture here, and it's good that you speak to someone you can confide in, because it's very easy to get mentally derailed. Like, depression is real. I shared a video about depression, right? So since I'm sharing my journey, at the time where I shot that particular video, I remember I did 3 or 4 videos at the same time. So I did a bulk shot, a bulk shoot of videos. I did the immigration questions. I did how to handle depression. And literally, I was going through that. So I shared that part of me. It is very easy to get depressed because you don't have anybody. Excuse me. Fortunately or unfortunately for me, I don't have family here. The only people I have are my friends from school, which Santiago happens to be one of them. They are amazing people. Like I gain so much positivity from them. We chat every day, you know. They're my friends from church, right? So these are like the people that I have connected with, and apart from keeping in touch with my family. But really, it doesn't feel the same as having family here with you, or having somebody with you here, and helping you to be stable and all that. And so it's very easy to be depressed or to be very low in terms of your, I was saying earlier that I have battled a lot in terms of fighting to stay positive. It's in your mind. You're always, you know, saying positive things about yourself. And like, it's easy to want to affirm those things, but then it's hard because the reality is different. But you're staying positive because you have faith and you believe that like everything is going to be very fine and it's just a phase. But it's hard to keep that up because you are having crazy schedules. You come back home very late. Sometimes you don't have anybody to talk to when you are in a low mood because you are like, you don't want to be a bother to someone else, and it's hard. So I shared that bit of the fact that if you're moving into a new place, like migrating to Canada, and you don't really understand the culture of the people here, it's very easy for you to be just to yourself and feel lonely and depressed. And it's for real. I'm not even making the shit up. Okay. Um so, hey, Victor. Victor, nice to see you. I appreciate that you joined in. Victor is also a friend that I connected with in Canada. Mwah. I appreciate all the Canada folks. Please remember to like the stream and let me know if you have any questions for me. Victor says, you came to Canada, you came alone to Canada. How are you dealing to stay positive about all the process and being? Oh, it's like you came at the right time. I was literally sharing that it's been 5 months here alone, and it's hard, Victor. I'm gonna be honest. It is so hard. But I always try to stay positive because like I was saying, you have to constantly remind yourself that you are going to be fine. You're starting all over in a new country, and it takes time, right? I've never expected that I will come here, I get a well paid job, I'll get a paycheck, and everything will be fine, and I'll be thinking of getting a car and an apartment. And no, no, I never thought that's how easy it's gonna be. If that's how easy it is, then everybody would have done it, right? But I just tell myself that it's a process, and that someday when I'm telling my story, I would share that I came to Canada and I was so depressed and I was so lonely and I was having a hard time. But you just have to constantly stay positive, remind yourself of who you are, and be focused on your goals and your dreams, because coming to Canada alone takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of boldness, right? To even move here and take all your life savings and come and say that you're starting your life over again. Like that alone is so brave, because you're leaving everything behind. And that's what journeys make you do when you're starting out on a new journey. It can be a new journey of getting married, it can be a new journey of migrating, it can be a new journey of going back to school. You have to leave some things behind you. And that's what happened to me. I left so much behind me. And that's the sacrifice that comes with being on a journey, right? So my journey so far has been more of um intentionally knowing who is in my corner, right? Intentionally. So I have very close friends in Ghana who I talk to almost every other day, right? And it's more of these people, I mean, apart from my family, it's more of these people looking out for me. And I so appreciate like the smallest things and then the very big things. Like I so appreciate any effort that people put into looking out for me, right? And ensuring that I'm fine. I tweeted, well, I've been off Twitter for a while. I tweeted some time ago that when my very close friends or family ask me, Lydia, how are you doing? I know they are not asking me physically, right? I mean, they are not asking how am I doing physically. They are asking me, how are you doing emotionally? How are you doing psychologically? How are you doing financially? How are you coping? Like those are how their how are you is magnified, right? So it's not just about how are you, like, no, they don't want to hear I'm fine. No, they want to really hear I'm having a hard time. I am not fine. I think I need help. I'm really drained. Like that is it. You have to be very honest when people take time to intentionally look out for you. And it's not about just holding back. Sometimes it's difficult trying to let go of your boundaries or your walls and just being vulnerable. Like that is the word, you know. And sometimes you see that this person is genuinely looking out for you, and you're scared. You have that fear of being vulnerable and letting your guard down. But it's okay to be vulnerable, whether you're male or female. Being vulnerable just means that you just want someone to hear you out and just like need a shoulder to lean on, like need somebody to just talk to, right? And sometimes I just let that go because I sometimes speak to my friends like Emmanuel or Evans, and I'm literally telling them that I am scared. Like I'm not sure what's going to happen. I'm like I don't know. Sometimes I question, did I make the right choice? And that's you just being vulnerable. Like I don't know what to do. I don't know the right ways to go. I don't know. Like that is just you being vulnerable. So it doesn't take anything from you to talk to somebody. So that's a bit of me adapting to, Victor's question that he asked. And it's not been an easy phase, right? In the terms of you being here alone and trying to be positive. And talking about positivity, um, my last module, there was this lecturer, Shrikant. Shout out to you, Shrikant. Shrikant is actually going to be my mentor or coach because I see that possibility and he has a lot of potential. He lectured us on organizational behavior and superb. That model was by far my favorite. It was very relatable. And you see, this is the thing about life. I don't have anything planned. So, like, I just tell you as it is. So, let me know if you want me to do more live videos because I feel like it's a way to go. So, she comes in, and I'm like, the first day we had a lecture with him, Shikant was like we literally were just telling him all our issues, like the timing is not good, da, 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 da. And it was interesting because he created a very first impression for me, which was really calm. He was a good listener, and at the end of the course, I understood why he was the best person to do that, to tutor for that, module. Shikan's personality is full of positivity. Sometimes I question, like, is he ever down? you know? And there was this day that I was having a terrible day. See, guys, you know me, I can't fake anything, I can't pretend. So there was this day that I was not having it. See, I was on my way to work. I leave the house like 8 o'clock ish. Yeah. And I go and I've had a long day. On my way, I don't know, I was just thinking so much and I was really down in my spirits, in my mood, everything. And see, I was just holding my tears and then I'll just clean it on my way. When I got on the bus, I'm like, I'm never gonna cry on this bus. And then I text my friend Yvonne, my best friend, I'm like, Yvonne, I know what's going on but I'm not fine. And she said, what is it? Talk to me. I said, I don't know. I'm just not fine. And She's like, it's okay not to be fine. And okay, so Yvonne has grown so much in her faith, and then I kind of see me in her, and she's like advising me, like, just be, don't worry, it's okay. Listen to the song. So that day was just me in my lowest, like lowest. And then I get to class, and I'm telling Nafisa. Nafisa is a friend of ours as well, and I'm telling Nafisa that, hey neighbor, I can't wait for you to join me. And I'm telling Nafisa how I've had a very bad day today, and Nafisa was also sharing about her perspective of, so that's the thing about talking to people, right? You think you're the only person going through it, and then you share with somebody, and the person is also telling you how they feel, and so you're rubbing off each other and encouraging each other. So you never know, you're not the only person going through it. So that's our lecturer coming the class. We are here, and then we are talking, and Shikant has been so helpful. Like, we've had issues with job search. God, job search is another thing I may want to talk about. Job search, the instability, the financial challenges, and everything. And Shikant is like, he understands. Shikant went to the extent of helping us structure our CV correctly. He brought a sample of his CV. I'm like, God, this is so concise. This is so simple. He made me update my CV. I worked on it. And I have this friend from one, she was like, you say you're going to work on your CV. Have you done it? I did. Now she can't come in. The last day of our lecture, he shares a sheet with us. Now I look on the sheet, and if you follow me on Instagram, you probably would have seen it. I look on the sheet and it says positive affirmations. I'm like, hold up. How did he come about this? Because I have been battling with low moods the whole week. And Shrikant comes, and he's like that angel that God has sent to like brighten my day, literally. So I take the sheet, and I've actually, like, I'm looking here because I've pasted it on my wall so that every morning I wake up, it has 20 items on the list. I'm reading that to myself before I go out. I'm like, wow, this is really thoughtful, because he can relate because he's been there before. He came in as an international student, did his MBA in the peak of COVID, and he saw how hard it is to just be an international student from anywhere. And as an international student, you pay a lot of school fees. Like, your school fees is a lot of money. You literally have to cut your arm to pay. So yeah. So I get the sheets, positive affirmations. He shares it to everyone in the class, and I am amazed. I'm dumbfounded. I'm like, this is so thoughtful. And I told you guys that I appreciate the very minute thing to the biggest thing that someone does for me. And I felt like that came from a place of, you know what, it's okay to not to have bad days. It's okay to be in low moods, but you need to positively affirm things that you want to see happen to you. So that's yeah, that's something that really caught me, like, the positive affirmations. I'm successful, I'm confident, I'm powerful, I'm strong, I wake up motivated, I'm inspiring people through my work. Today is a phenomenal day. Like, I read it every day now. So yeah, I'm filled with focus. I can do whatever I want to be. I'm grateful for everything I have in my life. I am independent and self sufficient. So I know all these things, but sometimes just saying it to yourself makes a difference. So that's kind of an impact that Shrikant had on me, and I'm so appreciate that for him. Santiago says that the job search can be hard depending on what perspective you see that. That's very true. The job search has been hard. Um, and it's a very common thing with international students here. So, job search, we are still finding, we are still looking. So the job search in Canada is such that um, some people may be very lucky. Trust me, some people will be lucky to come in a week or two and get a job, right? Some people will have to search for a month, 2 months. I mean, you can do the interviews, some people will not get back to you, and you have to keep applying. Like, don't give up applying. One day you will just catch one. And the job search is hard. I am not making this shit up, guys. It's just it's reality, to the extent that you sometimes you have to take your CV and go to like companies and see if they need someone, if they are hiring. You leave your CV, and I never saw myself do that. I actually did that one day, you know, during the February-ish thing, right, where I was going through a very hard time. So it's one of those things that makes you, that blows up in your face, yeah. And then you are facing reality and you are adapting to it, because over here, and what I also realized is that sometimes you don't have to close your mind to specific jobs, because as long as you're getting the money and it's paying your bills and you can do the job, just do it. Recently, someone was like, he's um so I think to his point, he was looking for a better wage, right? And over here in Canada, you are paid per the hour. All right. So you can actually do part time at 2 or 3 places. So you can actually have 2 or 3 jobs because you need the money. And that's cool. And because they pay you per the hour, you can do like 4 hours here, 5 hours here, or 7 hours here, and 2 hours here. And if you're an international student, I think for those who applied after October, you only have 20 hours, right? But those who applied earlier, you have 40 hours until December 2023. So let's say you have 40 hours, you can do like a 10-hour a week somewhere, and do like 15 hours, or so depending on your schedule. And some employers can actually make it very flexible for you, and they pay you per the hour. And some of the jobs actually also pay like bi-weekly, or monthly. Mostly is bi-weekly. Okay. So that's the job. Hey Sam. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you doing? Let us know how Ghana is doing. How is work going? I think it's about 3, it's almost 4 p.m. Yeah, in Ghana. So great to have you on the live stream. I'm basically sharing about my journey here so far. So yeah, about the job search, sometimes you can be waiting. I did a waiting and server job for a few weeks. Yeah. So you can just be waiting or be a server. You can you can be in retail, you can be in warehousing, you can be in, like, it's vast. It's vast. Healthcare, you can be in a care home. So there are various websites that we go to search for these jobs, and depending on whatever that you want, you can use LinkedIn, you can use Indeed. We work remotely. What's it, what's this one? And there are a lot of talent recruiting agencies, right? So the job search are such that you don't have to be limited to one um kind of search. You can just have a vast, I've literally lost track of the jobs I applied for, because sometimes they call me and I'm like, what's the name of the company again? And then they want to schedule an interview. We go for the interview, but then they don't pick me. And it's fine. I sometimes just say that maybe this job is not for me. Maybe God has a better thing for me. So I won't be so worried. Um okay. Santiago said one addition to, I think, Canada. Oh, Santiago, can you come again, please? If you just joined the stream, please like the video, because I see just 5 likes and we are like almost 10 people watching. So yeah, and you don't have to like close your mind to certain jobs or recruitment agencies. If you're a PR, I mean, if you're a permanent resident, trust me, you get the job so easily. Like you don't even have to do so much. But if you're temporary, um, if you're here temporarily, that is if you have a student permit or visitor's permit, it's like, when people hire you, they can't really be have that commitment. Because I know some of the banks, they don't hire, if you are not a permanent resident, they won't hire you or something, but they have certain roles. Like that's the thing. They have certain roles for like student internship and all that, but there are some roles that they will not give to to an international student unless you're done with school and you have your work permit. Fine, and that's it. And even in what you call it, um, I think in um was it telecommunications? Yeah, telecommunications too. They have certain rules for international students, like the sales associates, the customer service consultants, and all that. But there are certain rules that they would require you to be a permanent resident, right? So that's it. Yes, exactly. Santiago, I was coming to that. Some says I'm listening to you and doing production. Hey, please, oh, I hope you don't make any mistake. Thank you. Thanks so much. I appreciate you. Santiago was saying that some Canadian companies prefer people with Canadian studies to give a job in professional fields. That is so true. That is so true. They literally want to see that you've gained some kind of knowledge here in Canada. It can be a course, it can be a college um degree, and mostly the minimum requirement is high school diploma or college degree, right? So mostly they want to see that you've gained the knowledge. Now reason is that don't I think I've come to understand the Canadian system. When they want to hire you, most of the education that I had in Ghana were based within the Ghanaian ecosystem, like the Ghanaian landscape of business. And I've had some interviews. Well, I'm editing that video that I will share, understanding the business environment here in Canada. So most of the things that I'm actually studying in my school helps me from the perspective of understanding the Canadian business landscape, right? Because I'm doing a business course. Now it's totally different from Ghana. It's totally different. Like I didn't even I kind of had some expectations, but it is totally different too. Like I'm not kidding, because over here the system is different, especially with taxes. You can run away from the tax. You need to file it. You need to properly document as a business person. So they need you to understand the terrain of the Canadian business industry. So if you've not done like a course or had education here in Canada, for some professional roles, like Santiago was saying, they need you to have had knowledge in that. So, regardless of whatever field that you studied in, at least you need to understand it within the Canadian business landscape. And that is how a company can say that professionally you are a business strategist, a business analyst, business development, you know, all that, because they need to believe that you are um they need to believe that you are you know you know the Canadian system properly and you can adapt to it, because you'll be working with clients and you need to be on top of the game in terms of understanding what people need, what the needs are, right, and what they look out for. And this is solely different from companies. So you need to really understand what the vision of the company you want to work for or that you work in, and then you can use the knowledge that you've acquired in school to make your work easy, basically. So that is why Santiago says that you need to have knowledge or gone through a school here in Canada to be hired in a professional role. I hope that helps. Um, Okay, okay, okay. So I got a side message about sharing my CV. So let me just say to everyone watching that um oh, Santiago has to drop off. Thank you so much for joining. It's been amazing having you. Have a good one. Don't go flying. Okay, so um Santiago actually shared that he applied for positions as a software developer, but for this position, there were more than 2,000 people applying. Honestly, sometimes when I go on LinkedIn and I see that 500 people have applied for this job, I'm not applying. And then sometimes I'm like, let me just apply. You never know. So it's crazy. There are a lot of people applying for the job. So you just have to just put it in. You never know. So about the template, maybe I should do a separate video, but let me just share here. You know, in Ghana, you can put a CV and put like you add your references and you add like you make it colorful and all that. Like you put some color zone, you do no here. Mm-mm. It's just a plain sheet, maybe have a header, and then you outline, and there's certain things that you need to bolding out, like the company name, the position you were in. Okay, then it's also advisable that you don't put your educational background at the top, so you can have like, so let me just break it down. Let's say your CV should not be more than 2 pages. Yeah, your CV shouldn't be more than 2 pages. So you can have your header, like your name, your mobile number, or your designation, and then maybe the professional roles or your professional experience will be in the header. Will be in the header. Okay, then you can have your professional experience, because when someone picks your CV, the first thing you want to sell to them is what you've done before or what you can do, right? So you can put your professional summary or professional experience, and then you outline it in a very concise way. And recently, I learned that even if you give the even if you put the position that you've been worked in, you don't need to like itemize all the things you did. Just focus on the major things that you did and put it there. Then you come to the educational background. Okay, then it goes like that, your skills and all that. But in Ghana, we used to put education, or and it sort of like depending on the template that you use. So sorry, over here is totally different from Ghana, and they don't want to see references because when they get you on the job, you can then put in your references, but on your CV it's really not important here. And if I don't put my um the Ghanaian company I worked for is there, but I don't put the location as Ghana because it's kind of like, oh, I don't know, but I felt like I didn't need to put the location there. So those are things that you need to take note of with your resume here. But you can still research about North America resumes. They are very simple, straight to the point, like that. And also, you don't have to add so much color because there is a system that scans the CV. All right. You need to have a resume to specific job roles that you've acquired, you want to apply for. Let's say you want to apply for a job as a salesperson, and you need to look at the job qualifications or requirements. That resume that you want to use to apply for that job should be tailored to that role. It should have the keywords, Salesforce, CRM management. It should have those key terms that are needed in the qualifications, because there's a system, TLS or something. It scans your CV and it looks out for those keywords, because obviously here a human being cannot look at all the CVs. So if you don't have those keywords in your CV, it would just not pick it. All right, it will not go to the next stage of viewing and having to schedule an interview. No. If you want to do a job as a customer success or person or manager, Look out for the keywords in the role and then tailor your resume to that role. If you want to do apply for a business development person, look out for the quality, the qualifications, the requirements, what the job is about. Tailor your resume to that role. So that's something that you really need to know. You can't just apply for a job with your generic CV. It needs to be tailored. So you need to project, let's say for the sales job, project your sales experience in that um, in that job. Project it. That way, it's easy for the system to pick your resume. But these are what we were told during my orientation and most of the people I have connected with. Okay. Another thing with job search, which is very important, and I have been trying to do it to be very intentional, is networking. You know, when we were in Ghana, networking was like, oh, we went to this event, you don't want to talk to people, you're in your corner. Here, oh my God, networking will take you to places. So, networking. So, me, anywhere I meet someone, even on the bus, I tell you about my YouTube channel, they subscribe, and I'm like, I want to know you. What do you do? I'm an international student. If you find any roles, that is how you network. Over here, remember, Sharon, like you have to be very confident, like get to meet people, speak well, be diplomatic about your concerns, and because trust me, referral does a lot here in Canada. If there's a company looking for, let's say, a customer success manager, and I know someone who knows that there's a role there, he can just, if he knows the hiring manager or talent acquisition person, he's just gonna say, "Oh, I know someone who has quite an experience in this role, and I think that she can do the blah blah blah." I'll send my CV, and then they can look at it. They can have an interview with me if I meet that role, and it's not by obligation. I have to go through the process. I'll go through the first stage of interviews. That's an intro interview. They get to know me and my skills. I get to know them and the company, what the values are, what they tend to want to achieve. Then you go to a next stage of, let's say you have a meeting with the whoever you be reporting to, and then the HR of that company, because most of the talent acquisition people or hiring managers do not work for the company. All right. So if you have an intro interview, you may not necessarily be speaking to someone in the company, but maybe an agent or something. So you really need to portray yourself in a light and network a lot, because that is the only way that you can actually bypass a lot of frustrations, and having someone mention you to somebody else and recommend you. So please work on your networking skills as you would want to migrate into any part of the world, especially here in Canada. It does a lot of good, and networking really, really, really helps. I can't overemphasize that at all. At all. Guys, if you just joined, I've been sharing my journey about migrating to Canada. Few days ago, I clocked 5 months, and I'm basically sharing my experience. Let me know where you are joining in from. And guys, I have my PayPal link in the description box. Support me. If you're in Canada, I have an interact email. Go and support the channel, because it's very hard creating content. Sometimes I'm so tired, and then I'll turn on the camera and come and talk, and come and just be in character and smile and say nice English. When I stop recording, I'm like, oh my God, I just fall on the bed and I'm gone. So it's very hard. And we have crazy schedules over here. Now, I think I've talked about a lot about the jobs and things that you need to do to. If I've missed out anything, you can just drop it in the comments, and I can just pick it up. Sharif, I hope this helps, but I'm going to send you a message after the live stream. Okay. Now to food. Mm, 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 mm. Now, I didn't really have an issue adapting to the food because I'm already very adventurous with food, right? And I like to taste people's culture, especially food. I love food. I'm not like a glutton, I don't eat so much, but I just appreciate food and how it's presented and all that. I'm not so much a fan of the junk food, so and I stay with a Ghanaian family, so it was pretty easy to get Ghanaian groceries, so I still eat well. I know when I came in early, I was battling with the food here in Canada. I'm not gonna lie. It was messing with my body, it was messing with my hormones because I'm still like adapting and settling in, and so it was so hard. Like I literally had to cut down sugar in my food because I felt like the fruits were so sweet. Sorry. So it was quite hard, and then the milk was I already don't take milk. I don't have milk in my diet. I don't know. I had these reactions, and then I went to the hospital and they said I needed to cut milk in my diet. So I tried it, and for like a year I didn't really actively have milk in my tea. I drink tea a lot and coffee, but I would occasionally have milk in my I don't put milk in my tea, but maybe in coffee, yes. And maybe in a milkshake, but to have milk every day, no. If I had to do like cereal, I would prefer zero lactose milk. Okay. Because we have lactose milk here and we have um non-lactose. So if I take a lactose milk, oh gosh, I'm gonna gas up. I'm gonna feel bloated. I'm gonna gas up. Like it's so bad. Yeah, but the zero lactose is actually very good for my system. I don't have all those reactions. So there are things that you need to take note of when you come to Canada. And their vegetables are so big. The tomatoes are huge. The green peppers are big. They're huge. The carrots are big. The ginger. Whenever I go shopping, I'm like, how the hell are these stuff, huge, and then in my country they are very small. I just can't understand that dynamics. So that's how I adapted to food. And over here, you can literally have like a frozen pizza or frozen meat pie, and all you have to do is pop it in the microwave or in the oven, and then it's ready. I'm like, what? I make pizza from the scratch. Whenever I want to eat pizza at home, I mean back home. So how come? Like, and sometimes they are good, but sometimes I'm just so paranoid because I feel like will it taste as good as having it from like a pizza vendor or a pizza store? Those questions. And they have variety. All right. There's a lot of variety here from for like if you take milk, there's a variety of milk. Lactose, zero lactose. Like this milk. If you take noodles, this noodles, Korean noodles, Thai noodles, like Japanese noodles, Indomie. Like, we used to just know Indomie and that's it. But here, the spaghetti, they have various depending on the thinness of the spark is there pasta noodles. Like there's so much variety. And that's how I had to adapt to the food. So sometimes you just have to try out certain things. If it works for you, fine. If you realize that it's not good for you, you just don't take it. You just don't take it. I'm looking forward to trying an Indian delicacy. I hear that Indians have very good meals. So I'm looking forward to that. To taste that. Now, how I adapted to church, I think that's also an important thing because of my faith. So my friend Evans and his family were in a church. So when I moved here, I'm like, oh, sure, I can go to church with you. So when I came in, I was in Scarborough for like almost 2 weeks. Then early in the year, I moved to Brampton. So I'm currently based in Brampton, and my church is in Mississauga. That's like close to Brampton, like the next city. So They pick me up to church and they bring me back home. Amazing, amazing people. So that's how I joined the church family, and it's a great community. There are a lot of Ghanaians and there are Jamaicans in my church. They are Colombians. Yeah. So I mean, there are so many different the Nigerians. Yeah, there are a number of different nationalities and ethnic groups in my church, and it's super 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 amazing. When I joined church, I needed to fit in, so I joined the media team. Ah, if you watched my media, my church day, I did a video about that. Who is here? Ah, Yvonne, you are late. I have been talking a lot about you. True one. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So that's Yvonne. I've been talking about her a lot. That's her. She just popped in here. And you should check out her channel. That's my best friend. She shares her experiences about living in the UAE. And so please support her channel as well. Yvonne, remember to like the stream. All right. So that was how I joined church, and I joined the media team, and it's been so amazing. Like I said, living here has been a lot of learning and unlearning, because you need to unlearn a lot of things. You need to go forward as a human being. And I also learned how to use the media production systems. We run our service as a production, not just a service, right? So we sort of like prioritize the online audience from the in-house audience in terms of quality sound. You should check out Fruitful House on YouTube. Yeah, I'm a part of the team that brings all that production to light. I'm so proud of myself. So we have a tool that we use, which is Pro Presenter. Pro Presenter basically um, manages the whole church system, where you put in the videos, you put in the music lyrics, you put in like pastor's notes. Like my pastor normally sends the email of the sermon and we put it into Pro Presenter. My pastor actually has very high expectations of me with, production. So I can't let him down. And then I have a team which controls the cameras and whichever angles that are good for online. So that's a lot. Um, thank you, Truvon. I've been sharing my journey about being here for 5 months. Hey, Henrietta. Good to see you. Good to see you, Henrietta. I'm so happy for you. I always watch your videos. Hey, then today she's in Eastern Region. Tomorrow she's in Kakum. She's here. Hey, you're trying. I'm so proud of you, Henrietta. You started this like a hobby, and now you you take people on tour who are in Ghana to visit, and it's fulfilling, isn't it? Yeah. I'm so glad that you're following that part of you. Yeah, I'm so happy. Yvonne, just did you do amazing working at church. I'm so proud of you. Thank you, girlfriend. Thank you so so much. Thank you so much. So sometimes I'm literally the media team is at the top because we present to the church, right? And then sometimes I'm in church, and then after church I come down and they're like, you came to church. I'm like, yeah, I'm always up there. I mean, obviously I'm presenting the things you're seeing on the screen all the time, so I'll definitely be up there. And it's been great learning about all these machines, mics, production, and I felt like it came easy to me because I already created content. And I mean, I'm a fast learner. I loved it. Like I love to just immerse myself in it. We have a sound room that basically controls the sound that's going out and in house, and it's crazy. We had the sound room also has a recording studio, so some of the choristers who want to do like a solo or a single, they will literally sing, and Evans will produce the song. Like it's so cool. It's really cool. And yeah, it's been 5 months already. So it's that part of me in church is so grateful. Like, I'm really grateful about it, because then I find myself in a community where I can use my skills. I can touch people with my gifts. I can inspire people through the things I do, and for me it's fulfilling. Yeah, I do it wholeheartedly, and it's really really fulfilling and amazing. Sometimes last minute, when church is about to go live at 10, like 9:50, 9:55, someone is coming to you with something that wasn't originally on the plan, and I'm like, it's okay, just bring it. Like, I never ever frown or say, I didn't know what change I feel all day. I just again they're amazed. I'm like, I hope it won't bother you. I'm like, it's fine. No, don't worry. Just give it to me. Tell me how you want it. And then I fix it in Pro Presenter, and then church is running smoothly. Sometimes when my bishop is preaching and then he asks questions, and then I post the answer on the screen and the answer is, and he's like, you guys are really active today. And then you look and like, oh, the technical team is helping you guys. So it's so amazing. That part of church is just amazing. It's super duper duper lovely. And I also volunteer at the food bank at church. My church actually runs a food bank, which is the Fruitful Communities um, food bank. And so, what happens in the food bank? Maybe I should do like a feature about the food bank. I've actually been longing to go there, volunteer, but I can't do it within the week because of obviously my school schedule and all that. So basically, we get donations from retail and groceries, and sometimes we get support from patrons, and we have to the team has to go collect all these donations, right? And it's amazing to see how people are selfless and helping and volunteering in the food bank, right? So basically, the food bank serves to homes like shelters or care homes. And so it's not just for the church members, but then the community. So mostly on Wednesdays, we give drop offs in the church at the venue, and we get Fridays too, we have to pick up. So Wednesday, Friday, Saturdays are the days for the food bank. Sorry, but I only go there sometimes Saturdays, because yeah, or Sundays of the church I serve. So we go for these drop offs, and they have to pack the things inside. Then on Saturdays, we get people from around the community who come in to pick the food items. If you watch my last two videos about my Sunday in church, that should actually help with giving you some perspective about the food bank. Okay, and then again. So normally there's a drop off to like shelters and care homes and all that. And then Sunday after service, we sort of clear the place and create this L shaped or U shaped, angle to serve. And then I volunteered there with the giving out the items. So it's also fulfilling. So that's my role in church. And apart from content creation, that's what I'm into as well, apart from school and work. So sometimes I get surprised about how I juggle my times, because I have school, I have work, I have church, I have volunteering, I have content creation, I'm taking a course, I'm trying to read, like keep up with my books. And I'm like, hey, and all of these are very important. I'm building on my spirituality and all that. So it's crazy, right? It's crazy here. But hey, we got this. Guys, it's been so amazing. I so appreciate you all. Food banks, that's where me and Harita met first. We used to volunteer for a food bank, kind of. It's an amazing feeling. Oh wow. That's amazing. That's amazing. How many minutes have I done? Uh-oh. Yeah. All right. I think I've done about, wow, I've gone over an hour. Wow, I've talked a lot. Oh, I so appreciate you guys for joining in. I probably have to end here. I think I should do more live videos. Yeah, Yvonne, thank you. I realized that I got a low battery notification. Thank you so much for for letting me know. I actually talked about you, Truvon, for being an amazing friend and being there for me whenever I'm vulnerable. I talked about when I'm adapting here, it's easy to get depressed, but it's always good that you talk to people. And sometimes just being vulnerable to someone and saying, I don't know how I'm going to go through this. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I just don't know. I don't feel good, you know, and that really helps. So thank you so much for being there. And I know that you, even though you spam me with all the voice notes, I still love you. And I'd like to say, I said I love you, Yvonne. Foolish girl. All right, guys. I so appreciate that you joined in. Hey, Asante. Hey, neighbor. You're still here. Oh my goodness. I wish I could stay on for longer, but I'll try to do the lives often. Okay, like I'll try. Maybe on a Saturday I should do a live, go out or something. I so appreciate you that you joined in. Thank you for being an amazing community. And thank you for being with me through this live and always sharing my journey with you, and you are just encouraging me because it's not easy here. I so appreciate you, and I always pray for you guys that God bless you all. Please remember that my PayPal link is in the description. My Interact email is there for those of you in North America. Please show your girl some love because it's hard to create content and literally come here, turn on the camera, and just say anything and share my journey with you. And I appreciate you all. I wish you all the very best on your respective journeys, regardless of whatever it's about. I we need the money. Trust me, it's very hard here. People make it look like it's so easy. No, it's tough. You have to be really strong being here. So, yes, I appreciate you all. God bless you. Your respective journeys are going to be amazing. Stay relentless because we are a community of genuine, relentless people. We never give up because we have our eyes focused on the goals that we want to achieve for ourselves. And I really, really wish you all the very best. I love you all so much, and there's nothing you can do about it. Keep being awesome, guys. Stay blessed and take care. Mwah. Bye.